Sucks. That might be the turning point. And we talked about this for Stubborn, like that we might not be able to get it to Delirium. Well, we didn't get it to Delirium because I felt like I had to bog him off his Snapcaster, but maybe that was the wrong play. What did he have in his graveyard earlier? He had Push, that's instant. We still wouldn't be at Delirium. There would have been instant, sorcery, land. We're still missing one card type. Alright, so I think we deploy Flare. Maybe play this Ghost Quarter. Sicko. It's not completely over, it's just he'll probably hit a piece of removal. I'm assuming our opponent's deck is set up similar to ours in that he's probably just really good threats, really good removal, and Snapcaster Mages. Bauble, yep. Bauble, Goifs are 3/4s. No Delirium yet for his Flare. This a Lily? Unfortunately can't counter her. Okay. We'll sack our Flare. Goif is now live for Denial, but I think it's one card too late. Like I need a pretty good draw here to get out of this mess. Balance. That kind of does it. Well, no. Balance doesn't quite do it. Well, it hurts his hand, and I think we have to do it here. I think we have to balance. Like I would play out my Tomb. I can't really cut him off too much mana, can I? I mean, I can Ghost Quarter myself and choose not to search. I want to hurt his hand. Like we want to attack his hand. It's not so much his lands, honestly, unless we had Dark Heart here, but we don't. Yeah, so we want to probably quarter ourselves and either get the Feeder Pools or the Bajuka Bog into the yard. So I'm gonna go quarter this. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. Balance. So this gives us his Flare. Yeah, we were just one turn short of enabling the Denial on his Liliana. So he gives up the fetch and probably gives up the Flare. Yep. And discards what? We knew about Snapcaster, so he kept the Snapcaster. Oh, he just had a bunch of lands that he drew. Okay. Well, that's not great for us. Well, that means that his Ancestral draw was crummy. We know he's got a Snapcaster. Okay, Stasis Guy. Probably Snapcast. Well, he's going to plus this Lily anyway. We might as well Stubborn this Traverse. This Traverse represents another threat, so absolutely I would probably... Not probably, I would Stubborn this. Sucks that we're not going to be able to do it for the Ancestral, though. But yeah, I mean, he was going to make us discard it, so it's not like I would have had it available to us anyhow. Come on, removal spell. Flare. Well, Flare means he can't just minus Lily and take out my... And our Flare is Deliriumed. Go. Sucks that he's getting another Ancestral off here. We need like an Abrupt Decay stat, or Maelstrom Pulse. Need to be able to deal with this Lily. He may just draw a second copy of her, though. I mean, in the scale of mirror matches, I would assume that we actually have a bit of a disadvantage in some regards. I'm not saying like we have a disadvantage in reference to the metagame. I actually think that in some ways, maybe perhaps our version has some benefits. Alright, Ooze. That Ooze is a big deal. Ooze can take us off Delirium. Yeah, Ooze will take us off Delirium. Come on, I'd like to draw some Ancestrals. Be nice. Bobble has interesting synergy with Lily because they draw it after they would plus her to be Hellbent. Probably pushing my Goyf. Yep. Come on, give me a card. That's not going to cut it. I mean, we'll play on just to see what else is in my opponent's deck. Probably ooze away my creatures. Yeah, it's not hard for him to turn off Delirium for us. So he's got Lumbering Falls. That's interesting. We'll have to think about the implications of this card. I mean, I think we have some excellent cards to bring in, so I'm not obviously conceding the match here, but it's pretty done. I can't really think of a top deck that would get me out of all of this mess. Not even Restore Balance would be enough because they'd be left with a Lily. We could draw Eternal Witness. Witness would let me balance again. I think that's technically my best draw. Well, no, he's got Ooze. I can't do that. He would ooze away the... Well, there's no green source right now. He doesn't have a green source that got left open. Did not leave open a green source. So let's thin and hope for Eternal Witness off the top. Eternal Witness off the top just resets his board. It doesn't handle the Lumbering, and it doesn't handle Lily. But takes care of everything else. Actually, I shouldn't have fetched there if we're hoping for balance, right? If we're hoping for balance, I shouldn't have fetched. Because we would want to fetch, but not search for anything, because we want to take him off the Lumbering Falls activation, because I could just die to that. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the activation. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't have. If that's our out here, we didn't land. Thought Scour into a Witness? Huh? Don't really want to show him more cards, but... Witness? Witness? I'm going to say no on the loam. Cancel. Thought Sizzle. That's not going to cut it. Alright, let's board. Okay, so we saw Lily. Pulse is going to be good here. I mean, I like attacking specifically his graveyard. Crypt lets me do that. Slaughter Pact is okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Denials are going to be awkward. In this matchup, I think that's not what we want. Like, for example, against hand hate decks, like, they're going to do a good job, obviously, taking apart. I don't know, like, this is tough. Like, this is going to be, like, we're basically very, very, not card for card the same, but we're very similar. I almost don't want the hand hate. Like, I kind of want to just make sure that our top decks are always live. Like, we just do a Thoughtseize at the end there, which felt so bad. Give me Scavenging Ooze. That's about it. You could justify Devour Flesh. Might even be better than Pact, although Pact is tutorable. What are some other thoughts? So what did we do? We took out 2 Denials, we took out our Thoughtseizes. Those are the 2 big changes, and then what did we bring in? We brought in Pulse, Second Decay, Scavenging Ooze, Pact, and something else. The Tormod's Crypt. Tormod's Crypt might be overkill. But they're, like, the Traverse the Uvenwald version of Sultai is very, very graveyard dependent. I could see some of these, though. I could see these 2 being just a couple Devour Fleshes. Like, dealing with big creatures is nice. Obviously, they're going to gain the life, which does matter. It's not like they're Shadow Sultai. So, these are specifically best against something like Sultai Shadow, or Grixis Shadow, or Jund Shadow, Shadow Zoo. There's a lot of Shadow decks right now. I mean, Stubborns let us fight the top deck Ancestral War. There's just no guarantee I'm able to do so, because we may not have I think that game just came down to he drew more Ancestrals than us sooner. I don't even think we saw one Ancestral, and we were still grinding against him for a while. Like, we were still able to grind against the deck, and I think that we should consider cutting the fleshes, actually. I think I want to rock it like this. I think I do want to be able to crypt him. I think that getting a bunch of life from my opponent is unfortunately relevant, so I don't know if I want that. Alright, push and a scour. Keep it. It's also got a Talaria. I look at this hand not as 5 lands. I actually look at this hand more like 4 lands, because this is utility. Maybe we're going to use this on our opponent's man land. So, even though it seems a little land heavy, that's actually totally fine against another black deck that's maybe still keeping his hand hate in. I'm not saying it's wrong to do so. It just means if you're keeping your hand hate in this kind of a mirror match of sorts, we're not a 70. It's not the 75 card mirror, but it is a mirror match of sorts. Same color combination, same threats. We're both Goyf Flayer decks. We're both Thought Scour decks. But I will say this. I will say that if he's not on the Fortolds, we're going to top deck better. So I think that we're the control. I don't think we're the beatdown. So that's why I took out the Thought Seizes. So I want us to top deck better. Yeah, okay, so let's go Misty. No. This will be interesting to see kind of how this pans out. Now, we could Thoughtseize in response there. I assume he's still going to take push. No, he wants to scour. Okay. Fair enough. Is this version running the Water Grave? No, not yet. So let's just go Pool, suppose. Guess you could start Overgrown. We want blue though. Getting pools might make sense here. Nah, I think I still should have gotten the Breeding Pool. I don't know, that's a tough call. Alright, Tarmogoyf. Deploying the Tarmogoyf. Yeah, I think that's my goal, is just to aim to hopefully try to top deck better. To top keck better, so to speak. Yeah, I said, well, have a good night. That is the plano. Traverse for land? Okay. Okay, you got my push. We're not quite playing off the top. The Talaria West represents things. So it's probably Ghost. So now it's Misty. Yeah. I mean, top decking an answer to most threats he plays. I mean, the exceptions, unfortunately, Lily. I don't have the answer for her here. Is this a Maelstrom Pulse? Okay. That is one dead Goyf. Breeding Pool. Don't know if my opponent has 2 basic swamps. I mean, I would assume that they do, just because. So we could go Talaria West, suspend an Ancestral here, or we could try to cut them from black. There's a small chance that. No, if he had Lily, he would have played it. Lily minus there is too juicy to pass up. I can't imagine that my opponent would do that. Let's suspend an Ancestral. That's what I'm thinking. That's why we liked our opener, right? Because we thought it was going to do this.